Subscribe to Let's Share Solutions and press the bell icon for daily study tips, career advice and personality development videos with me, Ashwani Thakur. In this video, we'll talk about one of the most common questions asked in a job interview. What are your hobbies and interests? If they don't ask you, they may ask you to write it down. So it is a very common question and you must be prepared for that. In this video, I'll talk with you 4 things. First, why this question is asked. Second, what are the 2 types of hobbies that you should never mention. Third, the types of hobbies, the list of the hobbies that you can mention and what is their significance. And number 4, we'll talk about how to choose your best hobbies. Let's get started. So first, let's understand why this question is asked. The reason why this question is asked because they are hiring a human being, not a machine. And human beings have different hobbies, they have different interests. And they want to know that this person, is that person fit for the job or not? There can be 2 candidates who have the same age group, same experience, and same qualifications, same kind of academic background, everything is same, but there will be 2 different individuals. Their natures will be different because their interest is different, their hobbies are different. So they want to know that if there are 10 candidates, they select 3 candidates out of the 10, and in these 3 candidates, who is the best one for this job? So they will try to find out now the things which stand out in one of them. So these questions help you to stand out and tell that you are the best suitable person for this job. So this is a very important question because they want to know about your personality rather than just your background, your experience, but who exactly you are. And this question is answered when you mention your hobbies and interests. Now, obviously, you have to be honest, but I'll tell you how you can make best use of this question. So now we'll discuss the 2 types of hobbies that you should never mention. First, if you have a hobby of something that you are trying to make a career of. For example, when I was doing job, I am an ex-engineer, and when I was working, I knew that one day I'll be a filmmaker. And that was my hobby. I used to make films on weekends. So I never mentioned that in my job interviews. Although whenever I worked in any company, I gave my best. I never worked like this is my secondary thing. No, when I worked, I gave my 100%. But I never mentioned this in my interviews that I'm into filmmaking and I want to be a filmmaker and one day I'll quit this job and I'll pursue some other career, because this will give a bad impression about you and they will think that you are not a long-term employee. So if you have a hobby that one day you'll be making a career of, don't mention that hobby. Second is any hobby that is considered negative according to your job profile. Anything that is negative to your job profile or something that is negative overall. For example, you love watching TV or you love sleeping, waking up late. So all these kind of things, don't mention that in your job interview. Now let's talk about what are the kind of hobbies you must mention. First, mention a hobby that's linked with your job profile, as I mentioned earlier. Anything, for example, traveling hobby is good if your job involves traveling. If your job profile involves traveling, if you mention you love traveling, then that's a positive point. And you can mention you love meeting new people. You like talking with people, making new friends when your job is of sales. So for salesmen, these are good qualities. So if you have this kind of hobby, you can mention that in a sales profile. It also tells that you are a team player. Second, you can mention hobby that gives a message that you are confident. For example, solving puzzles. If you love solving puzzles, if you like meditation or yoga or working out, and you are a part of an NGO or you do some social work. So if you do any social work or if you have any such hobby, it will tell that you are confident. Next is hobby that gives a message that you are a good learner. Example, reading and playing any musical instrument, learning new language. If you have a hobby of learning new language. So if you have any hobby that tells that you are a good learner, then you are considered as a good employee, because in a job profile, always you have to learn new things, become better. do something new, a new project comes in and you have to learn something new. So if you have a hobby already that tells that you are a good learner, then that's a positive point. Next is a hobby that gives a message that you are creative and you are productive. Example, you can mention hobby of writing, photography, singing, painting, poetry. So if you like poetry or writing, if you have any such hobby, that means you are creative, you are productive. And now let's talk about how to choose your best hobby. So first of all, what you have to do is be honest. List down all the hobbies that you have. Make a list of all the hobbies, even if you do it for sometimes, even if it's something that you do always, whatever. Even if something like you play a little bit of guitar, write it down. Whatever, make a list of all the hobbies that you have. But they should be true. Don't write any fake hobby. It should be true. It should be something that you do. And one of the reasons why it should be true is because if you mention any false hobby, they may ask you about that hobby. So don't mention anything like that. Next step is, out of the list that you have now created, pick up the hobbies which match with your job profile, with the company's vision, mission. So which hobbies do you think best suit with this company? Pick them up. You don't have to tell all your hobbies. You don't have to mention all your hobbies. A person can have many hobbies, but you have to choose those 2 or 3 hobbies which are best for this job. You don't have to confuse the interviewer. So pick up 2 or 3 hobbies, the best from there, and then mention that. And when you mention, tell it with excitement, with joy, with happiness, with a smile on your face, because you love your hobbies. It's not a burden on you. It's something that you love. Example is, I love listening to music, making new friends, and traveling. So this is good if you have a travel job, sales job. These kind of hobbies will work best for that. So choose your hobbies. I wish you all the best, and I hope this video helped you in your interview preparation. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope it helped you. With every video I produce, my goal is to increase the level of your happiness, health, and wealth. If you liked the video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Also check out my Hindi channel and business channel.